Hey, Sam, excited to have you here. Hi, Hannah. All right, so here is the scoop. I am going to hop over into our 80-Day Obsession group and give you guys the YouTube link in case we hit that 500 mark. And that will be our spillover link if we hit 500, which we may. So just a heads up on that one, okay? Just getting us all set up. So be a little patient and we'll be ready to roll. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. We're at 495, so we're definitely going to need that spillover link. So guys, I did put that. Yep, everybody is automatically muted, so you are good to go. All right, we are good. We've got our, everybody see the YouTube link in case you need it? Here's the spillover. I'm going to put it in right there, Zoe. I got it. All right, I think I got it everywhere and I posted it and I put it into, putting it into our Rising Stars also, just in case you guys need it. All right, I did, Alyssa, I put it in here, just scroll right up and you will see it there. Yes, and everybody is muted. All right, Autumn said she's wrapping up a call with Carl Deichler, so she'll be on in just a moment. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just record it on my computer. All right, I'm excited. I am so excited. So number one, congratulations on being one of the first people to purchase 80-Day Obsession, to be one of the first people that are actually going to go through this program with all of us. Like, so excited about it. So whether you are a customer or a coach, you have been invited to this call tonight because you purchased 80-Day Obsession, either the bundle or you got the accessory pack. And we're excited that Autumn is going to be joining us live. She's just finishing up a call with the CEO right now, and he's got her on a call. And so we all know how that goes. And so obviously he's going to take precedence over all of us. But I did gather up your questions, and I'm very excited that we're going to get a chance to kind of dive in and talk a little bit about that today. So I'll just kind of go through a couple of announcements before we get started until Autumn jumps on. So number one, 80-Day Obsession is actually the actual program will be loaded into Beachbody On Demand in 2 waves. So you're going to get access to the meal plan part of 80-Day Obsession on January the 8th. So when you log into your Beachbody On Demand on January 8th, you will have the 80-Day Obsession meal plan. Then on January 15th, you are going to have access to the program. So when you wake up on January 15th in the morning, you will have the first week of 80-Day Obsession loaded. And then every Sunday morning when you log in, you'll have the next week added into your Beachbody On Demand. So by the time you finish day 80, you will have all 80 days of 80-Day Obsession workouts loaded into your on-demand library. And then they will stay there. They won't go away. So literally the entire universe is going to be doing this program together. How cool is that? Like, that's pretty awesome. So we'll all be kind of walking through it at the exact same time, which I think is really awesome. Now, some of you maybe have noticed that there is this week of a little obsessed that has been this kind of the buzz lately in time nutrition, which we're going to talk a little bit more about this evening. But a little obsessed is something that is basically, and we did this like what has it been, like 3 weeks since the last round was, but a little obsessed is like a little bit of 80-day obsession. It is 30-minute workouts. The workouts are not as intense as 80-day obsession actually is. So it's a little less on the intensity front. So as you got to go through these workouts, you're like, this is not hard at all. Well, right there, you're going to double that and then double your intensity. All right. So it's basically giving you a look into what 80-day obsession is going to be like. And so it is on Beachbody On Demand on Wednesday, December the 20th through January 15th. You will be able to access a little obsessed. And if you go into the program overview, you can see that the meal plan is loaded in there. And this concept of time nutrition has been loaded in there as well. And so this idea of the workout blocks and this is really the one thing that would be, I said this to my challenge groups this morning. I said, guys, please do not feel like you have to eat in workout blocks and time nutrition right now. Like if you don't want to do this until January, until the holidays are over, that's perfectly fine, right? You're not going to be behind the 8 ball. But if you want to familiarize yourself with it, if you want to kind of read through it and say, okay, how do I mentally prepare myself for what is to come? How do I make sure that I'm ready? And I know some of us maybe have to adjust how we meal prep and plan and when we eat our meals and what we take with us and what we don't. And so this is just a good way for you to get comfortable with it. Now, these little workout blocks, that's not all the food you're going to be eating. It's just kind of talking about the before and after your workout, which Autumn's going to go into a little bit more detail. So this is a really great way for you to start practicing, to get comfortable with it. If you aren't familiar with the portion fix, to start understanding, okay, what goes in a green container, what goes in a purple container, okay, how do I put these containers together to actually make a meal? Like this is the time between now and January 15th, when we press play on the first workout. This is your time to experiment, to play around with it, to kind of figure out what works best for you. All right. So just to kind of give you that heads up and give you that insight, that will really, that'll help you kind of get this ball rolling. All right. So that's what I'm doing personally, is within our challenge groups, we are doing this a little obsessed together, walking them through it, giving them suggestions, helping them with kind of figuring out the food. And I know everybody else is doing the same. All right, so Clarenda, I see one of your questions. If one of my customers tries to get on now, will she automatically be forwarded? No, you just need to give her that YouTube link. All right, so anybody that needs it, but I'll also see that there are 545 participants. I would try to give her the link and it may let her on. My limit is more than 500 and I didn't realize it. So just to kind of give you a heads up, it may end up letting more people on if it hasn't already. Okay, so we should be good to go. You are welcome. You are welcome. So those are sort of the announcements. So if you've been questioning, above is the spillover link. Okay, yes. Perfect. So if there are any other questions as far as how do I get into my Beachbody On Demand and what about the Little Obsessed Nutrition Plan, myself and a couple of other girls that are probably on here tonight, we have all been a part of that 80-day obsession test group and can answer some questions for you as well. So I appreciate your patience. I know that Autumn is coming and I'm sure she's sort of like freaking out a little bit because she knows she's supposed to be somewhere else right now too. So anyway, so yes, so that's kind of the game plan. As far as 80-day obsession goes, just a few things. I know that there are a lot of people that are asking about the nutrition program and the nutrition plan. So some of the things we're going to cover tonight are the timing of your food. What exactly is timed nutrition? We're going to talk about what to do if you work out super early in the morning or if you work out after work and you are trying to decide how you're going to fit these meals into your day. we will talk about that as well. I know there's some nursing mamas on here that are talking about postpartum and nursing, and can they do this workout? Absolutely. Brittany Leggett is a perfect example of an incredible transformation. She's a nursing mama postpartum that rocked this program. Also, something else that people have been asking a lot about is about vegan, and there is an entire vegan meal plan for 80-day obsession, and it breaks it out into meal plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. So, and it's very in depth. So you're gonna find that it's very comprehensive, and is very detailed, and you'll be perfectly fine if you are vegan in that area as well. Okay, it is different than a Little Obsessed, right? So a Little Obsessed literally only shows you this much, right? You're getting a tiny little snippet of the meal plan. She actually, the portion controlled containers like you see in a Little Obsessed is just the workout block, right? But there are other ways she has the other meals of the day and the way that the containers are set up so that you are fueling your body throughout the day. So there is more to it than what you're seeing. You are literally just seeing a tiny little piece, because we want to make sure that we obviously save something for when the program comes out as well. Okay. Do we have access to a Little Obsessed with our bundle? Yes. So everybody has Beachbody On Demand. Like, you have to have Beachbody On Demand, because this program will not be in the DVD format. It will only be in the Beachbody On Demand library. So if you have never logged in before, go to teambeachbody.com. Click on the Beachbody On Demand tab. You have the same login and password that you have for your Team Beachbody account. When you click on Beachbody On Demand, you're going to see a Little Obsessed. When you click on that, then you could, there's no workouts loaded yet, but you will be able to see the program overview, I think is what it is, or program materials. And when you click on that, then that's going to take you to the downloadable, and it looks like this. This is what the actual A Little Obsessed looks like. So I printed mine out, and I figured out where I was at. Now, when it comes to weight loss, I know that there are some of you that also ask the question about weight loss versus maintenance. And Kim, we do not have a vegan performance line. We do not. Yes, that is whey. Yeah. And if you aren't using Recover, okay, she's getting on now. I'll let her answer that. I'll let Autumn answer that question. But you guys can go in and figure out your calorie targets. And if you are not wanting to lose weight, which is kind of, I went through the first 30 days and I dropped some weight, and I noticed I wasn't putting on muscle or lean the way I wanted to. And so if you just do that maintenance calories, then you're not going to be in a deficit. That is where you want to be if you don't want to lose weight, if you want to build lean muscle. All right. So you want to make sure that you're looking through those areas as well. So you're looking at these containers. And I know some of us are thinking to ourselves, oh, that's a lot of food, or I don't typically eat that many carbohydrates, or I don't eat typically that many fruits. Please trust the process. And I know Autumn's going to tell you the exact same thing as well. So, all right, I see her. She's here. She's here. So I know she's probably getting her video turned on.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me? It says that the host stopped my video capability.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Okay.
I'm like, wait, it won't.
Okay, wait. I know I can do that. If I make you the host, let's see what happens. Hold on. It might flip it over. Let me see if it lets you turn it on now.
Okay, let's see. Hello.
No, you made it.
I made it. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I got called like literally 3 minutes before I was supposed to log on, and I was like, this is not a good time.
That's okay. I've been just talking for 15 minutes.
Oh, well, then you have wonderful things to say anyways. I'm sure they learned something and loved every second.
There we go. They're excited to see you. So did you get the list of questions?
Yes, I was just opening that up as well. I've got it right here. Hold on. I clicked off the screen for a second. You might not see me because I'm just trying to pull the list back up. It's okay.
And I can read them to you if you need me to.
You might need to, only because if for me to pull it up on the computer at the same time, it takes my video away.
Okay. Okay.
Where are we? There we go.
Still see you. Like I can see you like in the computer screen, like looking.
Oh, really? You see me like I'm like trying to read things?
Yes, totally. So you're good. So you're good. Yeah, no, you're good. So everybody that's on this call has bought 80-day obsession. So this call was their, we gave this away to any of our customers and any of our coaches that purchase an 80-day obsession package or accessory bundle. So they're all either in your coach test group or in our customer challenge groups that we have set up right now. So, so they're excited, like they're super excited about it. And some of, like most people have an understanding of what the program is all about.
Okay.
I think now it's more of like the little nitty gritty details. And obviously most of it is nutrition based.
Sure.
Probably what you're getting the most questions about right now.
Yes.
So
hence my call and why I'm 15 minutes late.
Yeah. I figured, I know. And we listened to a lot of your live videos over the weekend, like don't freak out, you know? So I think that those are some of the things, because we have a lot of early morning workout people that work out late. So maybe if we just want to start with just like a brief overview of the program, and then we'll go through the nutrition. And then if you want, I can just kind of guide some questions and we can go from there.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, you guys have a fairly good idea of what the program is. The biggest thing I want to point out is, you know, I see the way we're marketing it, which is great. You know, we're going for our buzzwords, and do you want a round booty and a firm booty and a lifted booty and shredded abs? And those are all definitely side effects of the program, if you will, right? Things that are going to come from doing the program. You're going to have a stronger, more shaped backside. You're going to have better shaped abs than you did when you started them. But I actually like to describe the program a little bit differently, or promote it a little bit differently. And the way I say it is, I say it's a total body transformation program with a strong emphasis on glute and ab training, or glute and core training, because that's really what we're doing, right? It's for me, the aesthetics are always sort of the icing on the cake, but they're not the reason, like the only reason. And so when we first started talking about a butt and abs program 2 years ago, and the reason I was so excited to do it wasn't just to be like, oh, let me grow my glutes, because I can work on that whether or not I'm creating that program or not. But we spend so much time sitting on our butt that our glutes as a society don't really fire the way they're supposed to anymore. People have lost that mind-body connection to that muscle group, and you can't get it to engage properly. And same thing with our core. We sit all day long, so we're not holding our abdominals in, we're rounded, and then we have lower back pain and hip pain and knee pain, because these two muscle groups, the glutes and the core, are like the foundation of how your body moves. So your glutes propel you forward. They are what propel you to walk, to run, to climb stairs, to sit down, to stand up. Your core supports you in every single thing that you do. And if these muscle groups aren't strong, if you don't have the mind-body connection to get them to fire when they're supposed to, it doesn't matter how much weight you lift or anything else. You won't engage the muscle properly, so you won't get out of the muscle what you're trying to get out of it from any kind of training that you're going to do. And that's even part of the reason why I put the loops and the sliders in the program, because it really allows me to target those muscle groups, to like go in and isolate those muscle groups to get them firing, right? It's not about spot reducing or anything like that. It's get that muscle firing. And when you use things like the resistance loop and do things like glute bridges and stuff like that, you can get those muscles to start working, so that when you go into your lifting, they're working, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I feel that, because you already got the muscle to turn on, is what we call it. So that's sort of the science behind why it's a butt and abs program, not just for the fun of it or just for the aesthetics. Like those also come with it. And obviously it is an 80-day program. We're going to go through 3 phases plus peak week. Each phase has 6 different workouts. It's leg day, butt day, total body core, cardio flow, and triple A. So arms, abs, and butt. Believe it or not, there's an immense amount of upper body work in this program, because you have to hold yourself up in plank all day long. So for all my people who like upper body work, there's plenty of that mixed in too. I see somebody saying, is there modifications available? Yes, you guys, there is a modifier in the program. But what I want to point out is that the program is an intermediate to advanced program. So the modifier takes it from sort of a 10 to like a 6 or a 7. She's not taking it down to a 2 or 3 or even a 4. That doesn't mean that if you're a beginner, if you're plus size, you can't do the program. It means that you might have to modify the modifier. You might look at things and be like, that's not a good enough modification. And it is technically, because it's more towards like the intermediate side than it is the very beginner side. So just keep that in mind when you get to certain things. She takes the impact out. She sometimes holds a chair for balance when we're doing balance exercises and stuff like that. But she's still working her butt off, or working her butt on, if you will, for this program. So 6 workouts in each phase. They change, right? Like you have these 6, like leg day. Let me just say this. Leg day, it's the same moves in phase 1 for all 4 weeks. What makes it different is each week we change the rep scheme up. So week 1 is a 2x15. You go through the whole workout once, you come back to the top, you do it all again. And that's like a medium weight. Week 2, we go into a 3x10. So heavier weight, you go through the whole program or through the whole workout 3 times. Week 3, we stay with the 3x10, so stay with your heavy weight, but instead of going through the whole workout, we do either 2 or 3 exercises depending on the day. So you're burning the muscle group out because you do those 3 moves 3 times in a row. So that's going to burn out a lot faster than going through the whole workout and coming back to the top. And then in week 4, we go back to the 2x15, medium weight, but you're stronger because it's been 3 weeks. And we keep that pattern where we do 2 or 3 moves, 2 sets, 15 reps, and then move on. So again, burning the muscle out in a different way. And then in phase 2, we move on to 6 new workouts. They have the same theme to them, legs, butt, total body, core, all that, but it's completely different moves and they build. So they build off of what you learned in phase 1 and the strength that you developed in phase 1 to get a little bit harder, a little more compound, a little more complex. Same thing in phase 3. And then in peak week, which is week 13, it's 2 workouts from every phase. And it's sort of what I've deemed my favorite and the hardest ones that go well together, if you will. And there is a difference in peak week nutrition if you want it. It's not mandatory or absolutely necessary for great results, but some people like to have a little bit of an adjustment to their nutrition for that like final shred. And that's what this is. So that's sort of the workouts, right? And the beauty of it being 80 days is that we hopefully keep you off that fitness plateau, keep it from getting boring. You don't always hear the same cue week to week or workout to workout. You know, when you're sore, I'm sore because we went through it too. Like we're in it in real time with you guys. And even that affected how I would cue things. Because if I was sore in the workout, I would be like, oh, I'm arching my back. Tuck your pelvis. Like in my head, I'd be like, I'm arching my back. And then I'd say out loud, tuck your pelvis. So I'm giving you cues that are probably related to what you're experiencing, even more so than when we film programs in other ways, which definitely, I think, steps it up for you guys. And like I said, makes it a lot more fun and interesting. So that's sort of like the workout side of it. And then there is the nutrition. So do you want me to talk about it, Melanie, or do you want to just answer, like start with the questions? Because that'll probably be everything I would have talked about anyways.
Right. Why don't you give an overview of what time nutrition is, and then we'll just go into some questions.
Okay. So you guys, here's the thing with time nutrition. All it is, it's simpler than everybody's sort of making it right now. It's me telling you how often to eat, which I've done for years. I tell you, eat every 2 to 3 hours. So that's a big component of time nutrition. The difference here is I'm telling you what containers go at what meal. So instead of just saying eat every 2 to 3 hours and you're like, oh, I ate a red. Oh, I'll have a purple with a teaspoon. I'm saying these 4 containers go at this meal. These 3 containers go at this meal. And the reason for that isn't just me trying to alleviate you having to think through what containers to put at what meal. There's science behind it. Me telling you what containers go at what meal is me balancing your macronutrients throughout the entire day. So your macronutrients are your healthy carbohydrates, your healthy fats, and your lean proteins. And I'm keeping them balanced all throughout the day through every single meal, instead of you doing the, oh, I have 3 green containers and I hate vegetables, so I'll eat them all in one meal and then not have to worry about vegetables the rest of the day. You're getting a little bit of your veggies mixed in all day. You're getting your fruit mixed in all day. You're getting your healthy fats. There's a couple of reasons why this is important. There's only so much of each nutrient your body can uptake at one time. Okay, so let's say you eat 3 or 4 green containers at one time. Your body will only absorb so many of those phytonutrients at once and only use so much of that fiber. And then everything else is going to be excreted as waste. Okay, so if you eat all your vegetables in one sitting, you might not even take in as many nutrients as you could have had you spread them out throughout the day. Certain nutrients are fat soluble, certain nutrients are water soluble. So you need, with certain things, you need a little bit of fat for your body to absorb them. So by spreading your teaspoons out, your oranges, your blues, we're ensuring that that happens. Same thing with protein. You can only utilize so much protein at one time. You can only utilize so much carbohydrates before your body starts storing carbohydrates as fat. So by me keeping them balanced, I'm fueling you for your workout. I'm fueling you to recover after your workout. I'm fueling your metabolism so it burns nice all day long and you burn the fat and not the muscle, right? So that's what time nutrition is. It's me telling you how often to eat and me telling you what containers you need to eat at what meals to have maximum nutritional benefits throughout the day. That's the big thing. I know the big question has been this weekend with people with time nutrition and their pre-workout meal when they work out early in the morning.
Yes.
So thank you guys. You gave me lots to work on over the weekend. It was awesome. So here's the thing. A little obsessed nutrition, what you guys have to realize with the nutrition for a little obsessed, it's a nugget. It's not the whole thing, right? Because you don't see the other 3 meals with the workout block and a little obsessed. There's 3 other meals, okay? And we left out a little component that we realized we should have put in, and it's getting added in by Wednesday, okay? So on Wednesday, you guys should go back into the Allo Nutrition, reprint it out, because there's going to be some new language in there to explain some things a little bit better. So when it comes to, well, first of all, let me just say, I'm not giving you a free-for-all with the nutrition with what I'm about to say. It's not like I'm not all of a sudden turning it into, oh, it's just a guide. That's not what I'm about to say, okay? The time nutrition is the time nutrition. The way it's written is the most ideal way. We didn't spend a year working on that plan and testing it for you guys to just take from it what you will. But that being said, for people who work out early in the morning, you guys can all take a deep breath. Let me explain something to you. Yes, we tell you should wait an hour to an hour and a half after eating your pre-workout meal before you work out. The reason for that is because we don't want all the blood sitting in your stomach digesting your food when you're working out. You want it going to your muscles, okay? And most people would get sick and puke if they ate their food and went right into doing one of these intense workouts. I can tell you guys, I personally am not most people, okay? I can eat my meal. I could actually eat a meal a little bit bigger than the pre-workout meal, take my last bite, put the spoon in the sink, walk into the gym, film one of these workouts, and not have an issue at all. I can also tell you, I don't wait an hour to an hour and a half after eating my pre-workout meal, because me personally, if I waited that long, I actually will get hungry mid-workout. And for me, my blood sugar plummets pretty fast. So if I start dropping in a workout, it is, oh my God, I struggle to finish it. And you'll actually see it happen once or twice in 80-day obsession, where I went like the full hour, hour and a half, and we're in the middle of the workout. And I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. Is it time to eat yet? Because I'm literally like tanking out super fast. So for me, I eat my meal. I might wait 5 or 10 minutes and I go work out. Okay. So my point is that if you get up at 5 a.m. and you are the person that can eat a meal and go work out right away, do it. It's not going to affect your results. The only reason we're saying allow for that much time is so you have time to digest. Okay. But we're also going to add in a little something extra that was in 80-day obsession. And this will make more sense on Wednesday when you guys see it. So the pre-workout meal right now for almost everybody is at least a red, a yellow, and a green. Some people have an orange, some people have an orange and a teaspoon, things like depending on what bracket you're in, okay? In 80-day obsession, when you see the full plan, there's 3 more meals that follow. And meal 1 is a smaller meal, okay? And that's like a red and a purple, or a red, a purple, and a teaspoon, or a red, purple, green teaspoon, again, depending on the bracket that you're in. And in 80-day obsession, we tell people, if your pre-workout meal is too much food for you first thing in the morning or before a workout, you can sub in meal option 1. That's a smaller meal. It can very easily be your Shakeology meal, right? Because Shakeology is a red. You could throw some spinach or some power greens in there. You could throw half a banana and a teaspoon of some nut butter, and you drink it. That's easy to digest. It doesn't take long to make. Super easy, okay? So that is being added in to the A Little Obsessed nutrition so that you guys have this option for a smaller meal. I also added verbiage in there explaining, if you're going to eat less than an hour before your workout, just allow yourself enough time to digest. Like, that's the verbiage being added in. So hopefully people will understand what that means, that the hour to an hour and a half is your digestion time so you don't vomit. That's what you're going to do. If you work out at 5 in the morning, you don't have to get up at 3 to make a meal and eat and You just have to know what is easily digestible for you. Maybe it's Greek yogurt with a little bit of nut butter or something. Maybe it's a piece of toast. So you'll have these other options. 2 scrambled eggs is fairly light. There are options. You're going to have to just think outside the box a little bit for that component. The other big thing I was getting was from people who work out later at night. And they're like, oh, I work out at 7 o'clock at night. I don't want to eat my post-workout meal this late at night. You have to. This one I'm not giving a pass on. And here's why. These workouts are intense. The average person is burning about 600 calories, if not more, in these workouts, okay? Especially in phase 2 and 3. Phase 1, we move a little bit slower because I'm like introducing you to the loops and all that kind of stuff. Phase 2 and 3, we are trucking along. I did booty from phase 2 today, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot how hard this was. So your body is going to need those nutrients after the workout, okay? I don't care if it's 9 o'clock at night, you need to eat that post-workout meal because you need to get those nutrients in so that you can help your muscles start to repair from the workout you just did. If you do one of these hard workouts, don't eat your post-workout meal, go to bed, sleep the whole night, get up, and then don't eat. You've gone like 11 or 12 hours, probably longer because you ate your pre-workout meal an hour and a half before the workout. You're now going 12 or 13 hours without putting fuel in your system. Your body is not going to recover as quickly from the workouts. You're not going to have as fast of muscle gain. You're not going to burn fat as much because you're telling your body, hey, you have to wait 13 hours for food. And you know what your body's going to do? It's going to slow down its metabolism because it's going to be like, damn, that workout was hard. Now I got to wait 13 hours till this person gives me some nutrients to use to recover from it. So don't panic that, like, I know we have all these old things. You used to hear Oprah say, like, I never eat past 8 p.m. at night. Oprah also didn't do an hour-long 80-day obsession workout right before that, okay? So, like, you hear these certain things, and people like to take nuggets from all these different places they've heard fitness from over the years and apply it. And it just doesn't apply in every situation. That's why we spend a year working and developing and creating to put out the best thing possible. And trust me, you guys, if I thought you were going to gain weight by eating at night, I would advise you, like I would have written into the program not to do your workout at night. I would have advised against it. Like, I didn't advise against it because it's okay to eat afterwards. You'll burn right through it. Mm-hmm. What other questions you got for me in regards to nutrition?
Okay, somebody said, do I have to eat a pre-workout meal? Can I just work out first thing in the morning?
Here's the thing. Again, you guys, I'm not like the police, right? Like, if you're not going to eat your pre-workout meal, you're not going to eat your pre-workout meal. What can I do about that? Nothing. I can tell you what I think is the optimum way of doing this program. And then you're a grown-up and you're going to choose what works best for you. What I'm going to tell you is this. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done is not a fun slogan I say just so you guys go, yay! I don't say it as a slogan. I say it because it's real. So if you're taking on 80-day obsession because you're looking for something else, you're looking for something different, you're looking for your body to change, then you're going to have to step outside your comfort zone and change. You can't, like, it was so funny to me how many people were like, angry with me this weekend and were like, you want me to do what? I'm not doing that. And I'm like, okay, then don't do it. Like, I don't know why you're mad at me for it. Like, I'm trying to help and give you guys something, but that means you have to step outside your comfort zone and just try. So if you don't eat before your workout, do I think it's the end of the world? No. Do I think you won't have good results with the program? No. Do I think you'll have more energy, lift heavier, and push harder if you put some food in your body before the workout? Yeah, I do. That's what I've seen. I saw plenty of people try to do the workouts without eating sometimes, whether they forgot or they were like, I usually do my workouts fasted or whatever. And then I saw them do it on it. And every single person that ate before the workout ended up saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much harder and how much more energy I had by eating. Here I thought I was doing my body a favor by not eating beforehand, and actually I wasn't. So I will encourage you to try something different. And if that doesn't work, then go ahead, go back to not eating. And all you're going to do is move that pre-workout meal somewhere else in the day every two, right? Like you finish your workout, have your post-workout supplements, have your post-workout meal, and take that pre-workout meal that you didn't have and move it somewhere else in the day because you still need to eat those containers.
Mm-hmm. Right. I agree.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody asked about the carbohydrates. Hold on, I'm looking. There was one about nursing in there. Do you want to talk about that one? That's a big one too.
Yeah, look, here's the thing, you guys. We covered nursing in the 80-day obsession plan. Basically, you're going to just eat in maintenance. You might end up moving up one bracket above maintenance. Again, these workouts are hard. Here's what I will say, and I said this even with the nursing moms in our test group. If your baby's not sleeping through the night, just be aware that this is going to be a harder program for you because sleep is literally, I prescribe it in the program. You need sleep to recover from these workouts. Everybody thinks the magic of working out happens in the workout. It doesn't. It happens when you sleep. When you work out is when you tear your muscles down. When you sleep is when you allow them to recover. So if you're waking up every 2 hours to feed the baby, your body's never getting into the REM sleep where it goes into the repair mode, okay? And I point this out because I don't want a breastfeeding mom to take on the program, feel like they didn't get great results and think the program doesn't work or the program is too hard. And really they just took it on at a time in life where their time wasn't theirs. There's not a whole lot of times in life where I give people a pass. I'm actually usually pretty tough on this. I give tough love and say, like, if you want it, you'll make time for it. And if not, you'll make an excuse. The only time that really doesn't apply is with a new baby. That new baby is your life, like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're lucky if you shower. You're lucky if you change your clothes, and you're lucky if you put food in your face, which means there's not a whole lot of time for self-care. And self-care is a big part of this program. So if you've got your significant other helping, you've got family helping, whatever it might be, fantastic. Then go for the program. But if you're hanging on by a thread to your sanity, maybe stick with a little obsessed for a few more weeks, give the baby a chance to get to the point where he or she is sleeping through the night, and take the program on when you can really actually dedicate the time to it that it needs to be a successful program for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What about, okay, pre and post workout? So kind of a couple of things in there. Do I have to do like performance line? People are really interested in performance line. What does that count as a container? What if I can't have whey? What can I do instead?
Okay. So performance line does not count as containers, never has, never will. That's because we say things like it's very precise nutrition, and it is. It's what your body needs at that exact moment, right? For whether it's fueling you for the workout or helping your muscles recover immediately after the workout. But also, if you guys look at the container system and the brackets, each bracket is a sliding scale of 299 calories, right? So that's part of the reason we can allow the performance line in there without container equivalents, because there's a sliding scale in there. You're still going to fall within your calorie bracket, even by incorporating it in there. So we don't need to take containers of food away for the supplement line. Do you have to use it? No. But the way I describe it is sort of what it does is all in the name. It enhances your performance, right? It's a performance line. It's there to enhance your performance. You're training like an athlete. Supplements help enhance the performance and the recovery from the workout. So having Energize beforehand gives you a nice little kick. You push a little harder in the workout. Great. Hydrate, there to sip on while you're dripping in sweat so that you don't spend the rest of the day walking around mildly dehydrated, which most of us do. And when you're mildly dehydrated, your body doesn't function. Your cells don't function at optimum levels. So staying hydrated, putting those electrolytes back in as you're losing them, great. Having recover right within 30 minutes after your workout helps your muscles start to repair. It gets you the protein you need and the glycogen that you need, sugar, to go into those muscles and start the repairing process, because we just tapped them out for the last hour. So we need to get that back in there. Yes, you can get that from food also, which is why the post-workout meal is designed the way it is. It just takes a little longer for your body to digest food compared to a liquid. So it takes a little bit longer to get the food going into the muscles. So the performance line goes in a little faster. Vanilla Recharge at night helps with lactic acid buildup, helps with soreness. So if you drink that, you wake up the next day and you're not as sore as you would be, you're going to move a little better in your workout. Great. All of these things are bonuses, right? But it doesn't it's not going to make or break your results if you don't use it, okay? I totally get that some people are vegan, some people are sensitive to whey and casein, so they don't drink it. That's fine. It's not a must. You can still drink Energize and you can still drink Hydrate. So great if you want to use those. Recover and Recharge, you can't because they have the whey and the casein. I won't recommend a specific brand, obviously, because I talk Beachbody brands. But there's plenty of brands out there and there's plenty of people talking about it like recently. Vegan brands that are also very good, that if you want to use a performance line, like a protein shake afterwards, there's brands out there that are good that you can get. Just make sure that you don't see a bunch of fillers and sugars on the label.
Yeah. And you can drink the performance line while you're nursing too. It's right. Like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink Energize while I was nursing because you will have a baby that won't sleep. But you can drink. I tell people always check with your doctor just to make sure that they're not paranoid about something. And like I said, I wouldn't use Energize. I would maybe drink coffee and then maybe pump and dump after that one particular thing before feeding the baby the next round, just again, unless you want a baby that's awake all day.
We have a lot of coaches that nurse and drink Energize.
Really?
Yeah, like a ton. Yeah, there's Deidre. Deidre just commented. She does. I know Val does. Yeah.
And they have the baby up at all? Oh, no?
No. Yeah.
Oh, well,
I nurse and drink Energize. Yep, totally fine. Yeah. Yeah.
To each his own. I mean, hey, that would be my biggest concern, is that I wouldn't be worried about the safety. I'd be worried about a baby that wouldn't sleep. But if you guys are telling me the baby sleeps, then
yeah. I wonder if you burn it off, as long as you nurse, then drink it.
I guess that's probably what it is that you're burning through it. It's not actually sitting in your milk.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's a lactation consultant says Energize is totally fine. Huh.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a ginormous group of nurses that are part of our team, and they work these long shifts, these 12-hour shifts. And I saw somebody say they do 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And so I think they're a little nervous about how this is all going to work. Would you speak to that a little?
So, okay, I definitely get we have people who work really long shifts. Okay, well, let me just say this. I have no idea. First of all, you guys should never be going 12 hours without eating no matter what. I assume you're being given a lunch break if you're on a 12-hour shift. If you're on a 12-hour shift, by law, you should be getting a lunch break and 2 15-minute breaks, just so you guys know. That's by law. You should be getting that. So there should be time for you to eat every 3 hours, right? I would eat, if I was a nurse, I would eat obviously right before I started my shift. Like maybe even get to work 10 minutes early, sit in the break room, eat your meal. So you can now go 3 hours before you need your next meal. Maybe your next meal is when you have your Shakeology. So even if you can't blend it, you can shake your Shakeology up. You can have an apple on hand or a banana on hand or some grapes on hand, whatever it might be. You can throw power greens in there as your green. I'm not saying that that's going to taste ideal that way if you can't blend it, but you're getting it in. And it's also important, by the way, you guys, as a nurse, please eat. Please don't come stick me with a needle when you're starving, because like, love you nurses and appreciate all you do. But we all know there's been times where we've caught a really crabby nurse and like, maybe they're hungry. Maybe they're not being given enough breaks. And maybe that's why, is that they need some food. So then if you can drink that Shakeology, whatever, even if it's sort of running back and forth in between rooms or whatever it might be, you're getting that in. Then you should get your lunch break so you can eat your next meal. So now we're at 6 hours. You should have, again, another 15-minute break within the next 3 hours. So pack again. This is where being prepared and having food packed and bringing it with you is going to be important, because then you can maybe pack yourself something that's kind of easy to eat. I'm not always saying that it's going to be fun. Like if you work a 12-hour shift, your food's probably not fun anyways, because I don't know that you're getting a whole lot of time to sit down and enjoy it, but at least you'll have food in your system. And then the next time you would eat would be immediately when your shift is over. So again, being prepared, maybe having 3 or 4 meals with you. This is where having the right size lunchbox is important. Having enough Tupperware or containers is important, but it can be done. No, I've never been a nurse, but I used to work 12 and 13-hour shifts. Even as a trainer, I would literally work for 12 hours at the gym. And you guys, this is when I was competing. So I had the same thing. I had to eat every 2 hours, and I had to eat protein and veggies and fruit and rice and everything. I would in between clients, I would run into the break room, take 3 or 4 bites, come back out. Even if I didn't get the full meal in, it was still better than not getting anything in. And I would do that or I would just come out and have my apple or have my banana or have my little container of nuts. And I would be I'm sorry, you guys, I need food. I have to eat. And obviously, I know you can't eat while you're servicing a client or a patient, while you're doing certain things, but take food with you that's really easy to eat. And that should help with that problem.
Yeah. And even just packing extra, I know that when I traveled, I would pack extra snacks or extra food just in case, extra Shakeology. If I had to drink 2 in a day, I just would, because I needed a meal. And so, yes, so that might be
better than nothing.
Better than nothing. Yeah. And so 2 shakes a day is okay. I wouldn't say it's something you do every day.
I wouldn't do it every day. That might start to upset your stomach a little bit after a time, but if you're in a bind, you can absolutely do it.
Yep. And the Jack's coolers are awesome, and they come with little containers, and on Amazon you can buy those little takeaway containers that are super cheap that you can just pack in a cooler and take with you. I mean, Matt and I packed chicken and sweet potatoes and we ate it cold, but we didn't care, so.
I've eaten my food cold for the last 10 years. Dawn was born and it was you eat cold food now. Cold food.
That's how it goes.
Yes.
Yes. And then if you go more than 3 hours between meals, I know somebody asked about that too.
Again, it is it's not ideal. The second you start going longer than 3 hours, you're going to be hungry for one. And when you get to that point of being that hungry, that's when you don't always make the best choices, right? You're so hungry. You're just oh my God, just give me anything. And that's when you grab a bag of chips or you grab the donut that's sitting in the break room, things like that. So you don't want to do that. But also, you end up having to stack more food later. And you don't want to do that either, because then you're putting too much food in your stomach at one time. You're sort of stretching out your stomach. Maybe you're eating way more later in the day. So the goal is obviously to follow the program as closely as it's written as possible. Do I expect everybody to be perfect? No. Was I 100% perfect while we filmed? No. I had days where I was I didn't go to the grocery store. I don't have and I'm running to the grocery store to get it. But in the meantime, I'm 25 minutes behind when I should have eaten, because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't let that happen very often, but it happened. Like there was times, even when we first started filming the program, you guys, the first almost 3 weeks. So working out at 9:30 in the morning is actually very late for me. I usually work out starting by 8 a.m. at the very latest, but even 7:30, maybe a little bit earlier at times. For me, like I said, I get up I brush my teeth, I go to the kitchen and I eat. I wake up starving. Like that's just my metabolism. And so with filming and having to wait till 9:30, but waking up at 5:30 so I could get myself ready, get Dom ready and out the door to school and then drive to set, I had to decide, was I waiting? Like, was I waking up at 5:30 but not eating till 7:30 or 8? So that it was an hour and a half before the workout. And so for the first few days, I did that. I would wake up and I would wait. And then I would eat when I got to set. And I would be driving to set. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And my brain would be foggy. I was like, okay, I just can't wait this long. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to eat when I get up. And then I'll eat a little snack before the workout. So I tried that and I was like, nope, not enough fuel for me. It got to the point where I actually got up at 5:30. I would have in 80-day obsession, what's listed as meal 1. I would have that at 5:30 when I woke up. Then we'd go to set and I would have my pre-workout meal on set. And then after I would have my supplements, I would have my shake with my purple. And then I would wait like the full hour, have my post-workout meal. And then my day, like I would then start spreading my food out a little bit longer because my morning was sort of front loaded with food because that's just me. Like when I wake up after 9, 10, 11, 12 hours of not having food, for me personally, I need more food. So I had to play with it even myself to adjust to what was new for me. That's not when I was used to working out. So I did trial and error. It took me a couple of weeks because I wouldn't just do it for one day and be like, nope, that didn't work. I would do it for a few days to see if my body would adjust. And I was like, kind of work, not really. Oh, okay, this seems to be what's working the best. So if you have to do trial and error for a week or two, it's not going to make or break your results. It's going to, in fact, probably help you get better because once you figure it out, you still have like 12 weeks or 11 weeks to be completely in the groove. It's more than enough time. So figure it out.
Right. I agree. Oh, you know what the one question was runners. We also have a lot of people who train for marathons and the spring is marathon season.
Yes.
So, do you want to address that? Oh, and then maybe this goes with it with the maintenance. Somebody said, well, I still get good results if I eat in maintenance.
Oh yeah. First of all, okay, so well, for my runners, if you're training for a marathon, then more often than not, you're doing pretty long runs. I would, even if you have weight to lose, I wouldn't eat in the weight loss zone. I would start in maintenance and see how you feel. You may still end up moving a bracket up above maintenance. You're going to have to be okay with that and not freak because we had a lot of people who sort of started phase 1 in weight loss, did okay, but were like having this sort of signs that they were under eating, that they needed more food. And when I moved them up to maintenance, they actually started losing more weight faster. It's, again, you guys, these are different types of training. This is not 21-day fix. This is really intense athlete training. We're building lean muscle, okay? So you need to feed your body to fuel that burn, which I would need a whole nother hour or two to get into the science behind it and the fact that there's 3 energy pathways and why does this happen and why does that happen and all this stuff. But what I'm going to say is you're going to have to trust me that you might need to eat in maintenance to lose weight. It just is what it is. And I'll go into it more in like the coach test group. And then those coaches obviously can take it out to the challengers and explain it. But when we get into it, I'll be talking about what you guys should be looking for as signs to whether or not you need to bump up to maintenance. I had some people that even needed to, like I said, eat above maintenance, and they did amazing that way. So, for the people who are training for the marathon, I would start in maintenance, see how you feel, see if you have enough energy, make sure you're recovering, you're not moody, you're not lightheaded. And if you are having all of those symptoms, then bump up another bracket. The one thing you need to be aware of is that when you first start 80-day obsession, you're probably going to go through a detox. It's the holidays. We're eating food we don't normally eat. We're having a couple extra cocktails here and there. And then we're going to start January 15th and everybody's going to clean their diet up. Signs or symptoms, I guess, if you will, of a detox: headache, nausea, irritability, trouble sleeping, muscle soreness, aches and pains, like you almost feel like you're coming down with the flu, okay? They're all signs and symptoms of detoxing. So getting enough sleep, stretching and foam rolling, taking Epsom salt baths, drinking lots of water, eating your vegetables are all going to help alleviate those symptoms. The problem is symptoms of a detox and symptoms of under eating are almost identical. So in the first 2 weeks of the program, you can't assume that it's under eating. You're much better off assuming that your body's detoxing from the holidays than that you're under eating. If we get to the end of month 1 and you're like, I'm always hungry and I'm always irritable, then you need to bump up for sure. And like I said, we'll address that even more once we get into the program.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. And then that's the signs that covers that question right there on that one too. What about this question somebody's posted a couple of times about the type 1 diabetics in the test group, how the meal plan and time nutrition will work for them? Was there anybody that was a diabetic?
There's nobody in our test group that was a diabetic, because you guys, that's out of my scope of practice. I'm not a registered dietitian, and that requires registered dietitian knowledge. So if you are a diabetic, type 1 or type 2, you need to take the meal plan to your doctor or dietitian or whoever helps you with your food, show them, and then have them help you work the meal plan so that you're not overeating on your carbohydrates, under eating, or if you need to adjust your time of nutrition based on the workouts and certain things like that. Because like I said, that's a little bit outside the scope and requires very personalized attention. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying I'm not qualified to tell you how to do it.
Okay. One question on the nutrition, I saw somebody else post something about, can I swap out a purple for a red? And
no. No, you can follow the plan the way I wrote it. And if you want to do timed nutrition with 80-day obsession, then you need to follow it the way I wrote it. I gave a little bit of leeway with the pre-workout meal for people who work out first thing in the morning to make it possible for them to do it. Otherwise, no. But here's the thing. If you want to do what you want to do with your containers, that's fine. You have all the containers that you're supposed to eat in the day. Just know that you're not following timed nutrition. You're not following the 80-day obsession meal plan. You're still using your containers. You're still getting your macronutrients. Great. I'm sure you'll still get great results. I'm just saying that I didn't write the program that way and I didn't test the program that way. So I can't tell you how that will go if you go 4 or 5, 6 hours without eating, if you cram a bunch of containers into one meal. If you do it your way, then you'll get your results. If you do it my way, you'll get the results that I'm showing you on social media and in the videos and all of that. So,
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Julie. She's like, that was my question. I don't like fruit.
What?
Yeah, I know. Okay, somebody else asked about alcohol, like cheat meals, alcohol for...
Again, the program is written without alcohol. Anytime you go through a program for the first time, I recommend you following it to a T the way it's written. It's written without alcohol. It's written that way for a reason, you guys. 80-day obsession is not about obsessing about the number on the scale. It's not about obsessing about the number of calories you eat. It really is about putting the obsession of taking care of yourself, taking on that obsession and seeing how far you can take that. And look, alcohol's great. Alcohol's fun. We all enjoy a cocktail or a glass of wine here and there. But believe it or not, obviously alcohol is a huge cause of why so many people have weight issues. Believe it or not, there's plenty of people who like their sugary cocktail beverages all weekend long, It's loaded with calories. Your body can't process, it stores it as fat. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this to be harsh, but this is just going to be like a little bit of a truth bomb. if you can't go 80 days without alcohol, if you can't do it, there might be a bigger issue you want to look into anyways. I'm not calling anybody an alcoholic. I'm just saying that if you're literally like, oh my God, I can't do it, then just consider that there might be something else to think about. And the reason I say that is we had somebody in the test group who said, and she's been very open about this in talking about it. She was like, oh my gosh, I went into it thinking like, oh, that's going to be really hard. Like, I like alcohol. She went 80 days without it. And she now will tell you she's sober. She's like, she won't drink alcohol ever again. It made her realize she did have a problem. She was numbing a lot of feelings and not dealing with life by drinking every night. And she wasn't drinking to get obliterated. She was drinking a couple of glasses of wine every night, but it made her realize that she was using it too much to cope or to not cope with life. And she's like, I just won't ever go back. Like, I just can't go back there. This is healthier me. This is healthier for my kids. So try to take it on, because you don't have to have alcohol. We all go the first 21 years of our life, well, maybe, without it. We all manage to have fun without it. There's plenty of people who don't have it. So try to do it without it. But if you're going like your second round, third round, that sort of thing, that's the beauty of the container system. You guys already know that 4 ounces of wine counts as a yellow, or that there's cocktails on Fixate that count as a yellow. So if it is your second round and you're like, oh, I do want to have a couple of cocktails one night, or I'm going out to dinner, you know what to sub them in for. Believe you me, you're not going to want to very often. You're going to want your food. When you're doing 80-day obsession, you'll have a strong debate in your head of like, do I want sweet potatoes or do I really want that wine? Because I'm kind of hungry and that wine's not going to keep me full very long, but maybe it'll put me to sleep if I'm drinking it at night. Like, that'll be the debate. Trust me, I had it many times. So that is it. And in terms of cheat meals, there's no cheat meals. There are refeed days. Refeed days are much more scientific and prescribed. They come in phase 2, week 6. They happen once every 2 weeks. They don't need to happen more than that. And you get to kind of have a little bit of a fun day of eating. There is what I call a substitute yellow list. It's like a refeed yellow list, where on refeed day, your yellow containers will specifically come from that yellow refeed list. And I want it to, because the whole point is that we're trying to restore glycogen buildup in your muscles, sugar buildup in your muscles. When we go 6 weeks, minimal amount of sugar, it's coming from your fruit and your healthy carbs, we start to tap that supply. So by having a scheduled refeed day and balancing your macronutrients out with it, we get a nice little bump in there. You'll get a nice little energy bump. It'll give you a little mental reprieve from eating perfectly for 6 weeks. For people who are closer to their goal weight, they'll have a nice little shred effect that happens. But the biggest thing is to remember on that day, it's about your yellows. So that doesn't mean you go eat like 4 burger patties or like sausage links galore. Like, your fruit, your veggies, your lean proteins, they should all stay healthy. It's your yellows that get to get dirtied up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Like that. All right, we'll wrap it up here. Just like a couple more questions.
Sure.
Let's see. Should pregnant women do this plan?
No, they're like the only group of people that I say 80-day obsession isn't for. And it's rare when I'll say that, but this one is more intense. Your heart rate's going to go up and stay up really high. That's not very safe during pregnancy. We're on our back quite a bit throughout the entire program. You really shouldn't be on your back after 14 weeks of pregnancy. We challenge your balance a lot. Standing, walking in different positions with the loops around the legs. Not great, because when you're pregnant, your joints start to spread, which means they become looser. So your stability isn't great. We don't want the risk of a pregnant woman falling because you're doing like duck walks with resistance loops around your legs. Like, it's just not worth it. So stick with something else during pregnancy. You can do a little obsessed if your doctor clears you for that. Just again, be very aware of your heart rate and being on your back. You can do 21-day fix. You can do things like that. But this one, I would say save for afterwards.
Okay. All right. And then vegan meal plan. I know that with 21-day fix, you had sort of a vegan option. And I'm not vegan, so I'm not very educated in this, but they were asking if it's more comprehensive in 80-day obsession as far as like containers and
yeah, it's still, yes. So there's a full vegan plan that will launch with 80-day obsession, just like there is with A Little Obsessed right now. And it's designed the exact same way. So it's still going to tell you these containers at this meal. Your food lists are going to look different than the regular plan, but there's vegan food lists, right? Because their reds are not the same as somebody who eats animal protein. So your reds are going to look different, your red list. And then in terms of the yellow food list, there's yellow A's and yellow B's. Like yellow B's tend to be the slightly more processed foods for a vegan, whereas the yellow A's are more of like your brown rice, your quinoa, things like that. Whereas the B's are more like your breads, your pastas, and things like that. And we'll tell you how many B's you get, how many A's you get of your yellows for vegan. But yeah, it's a very comprehensive plan. One of the background cast members is vegan. Donald is vegan. He went through the program, lost 25 pounds following the vegan plan. And so yeah, it totally works, very comprehensive, just like the regular plan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about blending the 2 meals, like 2 to 3 vegan days a week and regular? Oh, like blending vegan and regular.
It's a little bit wonky. You can do it. It's a little wonky because your macros are balanced, but they're balanced a little bit differently just because vegans are more carbohydrate heavy because you're getting protein from things like beans and quinoa and stuff like that. So on your vegan days, it'll be a little bit different balance than on your non-vegan days. You can do it. Again, I didn't have anybody go through the program like that, so I don't know what the outcome would be. You guys, when you eat healthy and you eat in the right portion sizes and in your right calorie bracket, you're going to have good results, okay? When you follow the time nutrition or the way I wrote it, your results are going to be a step up. They're going to be the next level. So be aware of that. Like, I'm not saying that if you eat your containers, but you don't eat the time nutrition, like, oh, you're going to gain weight or you're not going to have great results. I'm just saying it's different than following it the way I wrote it. So yeah, you can probably bounce back and forth. What you wouldn't want to bounce back and forth between is in one day. You wouldn't want to be like, okay, well, I'm going to have beans, like let's say beans are on the vegan red. Like you wouldn't have beans as one red and then be like, I'm going to have beans as my yellow because on the regular plan, beans are a yellow. So if you try to switch back and forth in the same day, it's going to get all messed up. I think as long as you stick one day is vegan, one day is a regular, whatever, however you mix it,
and you'll be okay.
It'll probably be okay.
Okay. So we do have some people that love to work out and they're like, can I double my workout? Can I add extra cardio? Can I do more than
you can, you don't have to. Again, these workouts are almost an hour long and they're intense. So you might want to, you might not want to. Like, be aware, just like gauge how your body is feeling. Also, just know that if you're doing like an hour of cardio on top of your weight training, you're actually going to tap into your lean muscle building supply. I actually had it happen to me in my very first time I ever competed. I was lifting like crazy. I was eating like crazy. But when we got to the last few weeks before the competition, my coach had me doing cardio like an hour and a half a day. Like, I was doing 2 45-minute sessions of cardio in addition to my lift. You guys, I was so lean when I got on stage, and I wasn't like deprived. Again, I was eating enough, but like my butt was like non-existent when I got on stage, and I placed 6th because of it, because like in bikini competitions, they're like looking at your backside a lot, but I couldn't keep the muscle mass on that I needed to keep on because of how much cardio he had me doing. So we adjusted that significantly for other competitions after that, because we were like, oh yeah, you just burn through everything. So just know though, that if you're doing that much cardio, you know, there's a reason you see these memes where it's like, oh, person who does cardio and they have like this tiny little booty, or like person who does nothing and they've got this sort of like flat butt. And then they're like, oh, person who, now normally they say person who squats or person who lifts, and they got the big rounded booty. It's because doing too much cardio will tap into your muscle supply or to your muscle building ability, and you won't build in shape as much.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you can do it. You also might need to eat more.
Okay. Okay. What about person with hypothyroid? That might fall back into the category of the nutrition.
Going to go back to the doctor to make sure that you're doing it right.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So as we kind of finish everything up, what would you say has kind of been your, I don't know, like, what did you learn from this, or what's like, I don't know, what did you learn from it? And then what's your biggest piece of advice moving forward to everybody that's kind of getting started?
I think the biggest thing for everybody is the more you can come into the program without judgment already, or with an open mind and a positive mind, the more you're going to get out of the program. So I was just talking about this on a call a little bit earlier today that, when the coaches came into the original test group, they knew nothing about the program. They didn't even know that I was the trainer. They came in as blind as you could come into something. And I actually think that was really great because they didn't have time to analyze, overanalyze, and start to create stories in their head about how the program might go because they didn't know anything about it. So day one was just like, hey guys, it's me, I'm the trainer, here's what we're doing. And we all just jumped right in. And even with the nutrition, they had to just jump right in. I got on Facebook Live, started talking them through it, but that was it. Like they just had to go right into it. So if you can come in with like that sort of blank slate and just be like, I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to, again, like I said, all these little modifications that you guys are asking me about, you just do your best. You will get amazing results from the program and you won't get discouraged. It's an 80-day journey. It is just that. It's a long journey. It's supposed to be. There's a lot that you're going to learn about yourself as you go through the program. And I think that's even sort of what I learned is that for people to really make changes, like 21-day fix is fantastic, right? It's a great way to get people to start to make the change. And we even say that it takes 21 days to form a new habit. That's why that program is 21 days. We wanted you to get in the habit of exercising and eating right. But to really change, to really make these like deep, significant changes, 3 months minimum is what you need. And if you just look at it like this is part of your life, it's also going to be easier. Like instead of looking at it like, oh my gosh, 80 days is so long. I say it on the final day of 80-day obsession I'm sort of like wrapping up with the closing speech. And one of the things I said was, for a lot of people, it's day 80. For me, it's just another workout and it's just another day of eating clean because that's my life. Like I don't have a limit on, okay, I'm going to work out for 80 days. It was when Carl first asked me if I would survive filming for 80 days. I was like, I work out every day. What's the difference? Am I doing something different? And he's like, no. And I was like, but then I'm not worried about it. Like this is my life. There is no end date on my eating clean or my exercise. So if you start to take that mental approach towards your health and towards your fitness, it's going to be a lot easier. And you're going to be able to stop starting over because you never stopped. Like you might finish one program, but that doesn't mean you stop. You don't finish the program and go, I've seen this too. I'm going to say this really quick. A lot of people in the coach test group have messaged me in the last couple of weeks. Autumn, I fell completely off the wagon. Program finished. I was great for a few days and then I let it go. And I'm like, every time I do a program, it makes me want to bash my head into a wall because I'm like, why would you stop? Like you just did amazing things for 80 days. Like why would we come to the end and you would go done and think that the results are going to stay? They're not. You have to keep going every single day. So like I said, that's something big that I learned that this 80-day progression is going to really help people set in those changes even more. And if you come into it with a positive mind, you're going to have a really positive experience.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So we appreciate your time. And I know we're all excited and we'll be following your Facebook page. Go follow her business Facebook page, the Autumn Calabrese page. She does tons of live videos. And honestly, anytime she probably gets more than the same question, like 10 times, she makes a video about it. So
that's right. I do.
Pretty much anything you need, you can find over there. And then anybody that's a coach and that bought a package gets an invite into the coach test group as well. So those emails are kind of going out in waves. So you guys should see that. But thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Guys, my pleasure. I'm so sorry I was a little bit late, but thanks for joining me on this Monday. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys all soon.
All right. Take care. Bye.